Hi there, it's Rose. Welcome to my channel. Today I am here to share what I created for the open collab hashtag Freaky Friday. Now this collab is hosted by Susan Tootsie Tucker. Of course, I'll leave Susan's channel in the description box below. It's a fun collab where you can create for Halloween, and I didn't get any opportunity to participate in this collab as much as I would have liked to. Unfortunately, the season just seemed to fly by, and I did jump in the collab a few times, but I have so many stamps and dies and supplies that I really wanted to use this year that I didn't get a chance to. It just seems like the Halloween season goes by so quickly, and before you know it, it's right upon us. And wow, yeah, there's so much more that I wanted to create, and I guess next year I'm gonna have to start a lot earlier. Maybe like in June I'll start my Halloween crafting. I'm not sure, but in any event, I was able to create some fun monster tags that I wanted to share in this collab today. So I'll start out, as I usually do, by showing you the supplies that I used, and then we'll take a look at the tags that I created. So the stamp set that I wanted to use for my tags was this monster stamp set that I picked up on Amazon, I believe last season. So it's been in my stash, and I've finally gotten a chance to break it out and utilize it. I love these monsters, and they're actually a pretty good size. So I used, of course, the 5 monsters and a couple of the little sayings that are on this clear stamp set, and I thought they were really fun. A little bit creepy, but a little bit whimsical too. They're just kind of adorable. And this collection actually came with the coordinating dies. So you know how I feel about that. If there's coordinating dies for a stamp collection, I like to get them. And it was great because this was a bundle. So yeah, I colored up these guys with some Copics, with some of my paint pens, and just had a really good time coloring them. So I used these. I brought in a couple of wood mounted stamps that I had for the backgrounds. Now these are both red rubber wood mounted from Inkadinkado, and they've been in my stash for a while. This actually looks like a piece of burlap or fabric that stamps out a nice texture for background, so I love that. And this is sort of a group of bats that are going through what looks like a sprig of from a tree. Just a beautiful, beautiful stamp. I don't use this as often as I should. I love it so, so much. And I thought it was really a nice complement to this fabric for, doing some background for the tags. I would do first and second and even third impressions with one stamp of this. So it's really, really a beautiful stamp set. This would be fun to stamp and emboss as well. A lot of ideas in mind for using this. And again, it's like a lot of the stamps that I have in my collection, I just don't get to all of them. But yeah, these are 2 wood mounted that I brought out for these tags. Now for inks, I brought in a variety of Distress Oxides because I was doing a lot of blending, and it was okay if it was the chalky Distress Oxide effect. So Squeezed Lemonade, Peacock Feathers, and Evergreen Bough, Seedless Preserves and Blueprint Sketch, Candied Apple, Broken China, and Carved Pumpkin, and then a mini in the regular Distress Vintage Photo. I brought in my little distresser to kind of rough up the edges around the tags. And then my new favorite, which are the Distress crayons. And these are the seasonal Halloween colors. So I love these because they're very easy to create with. They add that little pop of metallic that just adds some great interest to your projects. And of course, the colors are gorgeous. So I picked up all 4 of the crayons of the sets for the season for this Halloween. So let's get into it and take a look at the tags that I created. So here's a look at my first one, and this one says have a monster time, and I colored him up with blue Copic, some yellow and orange for his ears, and of course his tongue is green. He's just a fun monster. I had a lot of fun with these. I did a lot of distressing on the background, as you can see. Hopefully it'll show up well in the camera, but yeah, you can see some of the background stamp. Of course, I added some black rhinestones because I love to have some bling there, and some purple and orange ribbon. These are from the trim bundles that I recently hauled from Michael's. I just love the variety of ribbon that came in those packages. And they were so fun to go through to pick out what I wanted for each of the tags. So you can see hopefully some of that metallic crayon around the edges, and this is where I took that distresser and sort of really roughed up the tags to make them a little bit more creepy and spooky, and for this collab, of course, freaky. But I think that these monsters are a little freaky in their look, but they're also so whimsical and fun, and they're not really scary monsters. They're just sort of adorable monsters that I think would be really great to find on Halloween. They have that kind of cute look to them. So that's my first one. Now, this little monster, I wanted to bring in at least one Halloween sentiment. So this one is a trick or treat sentiment that I believe might be a Lawn Fawn stamp. I honestly can't remember because I took out several sentiment stamps and did a bunch of stamping of those very early on in the season, and then cut them out in labels that I knew I would use on future projects. So that's where that one came from. But I thought he was a really adorable monster too, and did him in some yellows and oranges from Copic coloring, and of course his white teeth and red mouth, and then the background is sort of blues and greens. Here's some seam binding that I had in my stash in kind of like an orange yellow, and then that teal color. So again, kind of did a lot of highlighting with those metallic distress crayons that are my new love in the distress line. Looking forward to picking up the Christmas ones too. And then of course I did some distressing around the edge, roughed that up, and then inked that, and just with some gold and some more of the distress oxides to kind of bring out the background more. But you can see some of that branch and stamp background, hopefully in the background of that. So that was my second one. And then there's this little guy in all his green goodness, and little pink mouth, orange hands, and I did him, of course, on an orange background with some green seam binding that I had, and then this is a really pretty ribbon that was part of that trim collection too. It's almost like a see-through yellow-orange. I thought it was a nice complement to this orange background. And I think on this tag you can best see that bat background stamp a little bit better because of the light color. And then of course, I stamped all of the background with the vintage photo. So it's kind of second and third generation of that stamp. Now, I didn't mention that when I did the distressing with the Distress Oxides, of course, I hit them with the spritz bottle and did the water effect and did the lift to lighten that up and also get that splatter. But I think the crayons really are what give you that beautiful metallic look that I really am in love with. So that's my third little tag. And then there's this guy, Monster Hugs. And of course I had to have at least one purple monster because why not? So he's purple and green, and I did find some matching ribbon. Again, seam binding, real pretty green ribbon with a lot of texture, and then that black eyelash trim that I think, you know, how can we get enough of that for Halloween? It's just so fun to use. A lot of purples and blues in this background, and then again that bat and burlap that I think you might be able to see here as well. He's super cute with his 3 eyes. Love him. And then the last one, and probably my favorite, is this 2-headed monster, because they just look like they're confused. And they're just so cute. So this is a lot of carved pumpkin and squeezed lemonade, because I wanted the yellow and the orange. And again, this is another one that you can really see those beautiful background stamps. And then seam binding and that orange with yellow. And I brought in some, this was actually from that trim collection too, this piece of purple that's not really eyelash trim, but it is a little bit more of a ropey texture to it. Just love it. I wanted that for of course, their purpley blue spots. I thought that would highlight that as well. They're so cute. I think they're running in different directions, and the little boo there with the black gems. This is also one that I think you can best see the distressing around the edges for all of that great texture. So that's my 5th one. So here's another look at the 5 tags I created for this fun collab, hashtag Freaky Friday. Thanks so much again to Susan for hosting. I wish that she would consider having this collab all year long, because it would give me a chance to create more Halloween and use my stash, which I love to do. But if not, maybe she'll consider having it again next year. I had so much fun making these tags. I hope you enjoy taking a look. If you're new to my channel, I hope you might consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.